Welcome to another video. This time we're going to talk about my XS Power lightweight battery that I installed over a year ago. This is an update video because I've had a lot of people ask me, how has this battery been performing? Before we get talking about that, let me explain what's going on here because you hear a lot of noise in the background. So I am actually out here at Holley MoParty at Beach Bend Raceway Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And when I installed this battery, it was actually just before this race, about a few weeks before this race. So the battery has been installed for a full week, and I'm in between rounds right now. I'm actually in a 1320 shootout. I just won the quarterfinal round, so I'm in a semifinal round, just waiting to get called up. So I figured, hey, let's do this update video, which is perfect because I've had it over a year. I've kept the battery in. It's never come out, ever. I have not taken it out, so it's not one of those things where I take it in and out only when I need it. This battery right here, the XV4800 lithium battery by XS Power, that has been in this car for over a full year now, and I've never had any issues. Now, the one thing I have to say, okay, then this holds true for any lithium battery. Again, if you don't drive your car for a long period of time, they will drain out and you'll need to jump it. That happened to me one time. I didn't drive it about 10 days. It sat in a garage, and I don't know the exact limit, but 10 days was past it and the battery was dead, and I had to jump the car. But after that, everything is fine. That happened, I want to say 8 or 9 months ago, and everything's been fine since then. What I normally do, which you should do if you have a lithium battery, is get a tender. And if you don't drive the car, what I do, if I haven't driven the car for 4 or 5 days, I'll throw the tender on just for a few hours to charge it up a little bit. And that's all I've ever done. And then one time this summer, I took a 2-week vacation, and for those 2 weeks, I didn't want to leave a tender on it, so I just disconnected the battery. That's all. I just left it disconnected for 2 weeks because the batteries do not die. Like these lithium batteries, they hold a charge when nothing's draining them. When something's draining, that's when they're like, man, they drain quick. So that's the only time I disconnect. But other than that, it's seen how many miles. I'm up to like over 8,500 miles on this car now, and I have to look up how many miles I had when I installed it, but it was a lot less. Now, this car doesn't see a whole lot of use, but it does get a lot of drag strip use. I've never had electrical issues at the drag strip. I do drive it on the street. I do drive it around town. When I need to go in the office for work, I drive it town. That's 45 miles away from me. Handles that no problem. And then I think the ultimate test to this battery was a month ago when I drove this car all the way from Dallas. I drove it out to Detroit, 1,200 miles. Daily drove it around town for a week, going to the Dodge Media events. I drag raced it for the Modern Street Hemi shootout Friday of that week. The next day after that, I was on Woodward cruising for the Woodward Dream Cruise. And then the day after that, hopped in the car and drove it all the way back to Dallas. So in that 1 week time, I drove 3,000 miles. And I say that was my last real test for this battery because some people ask, like, well, how's it work when it has like a continuous charge? Because you do not want to overcharge these batteries. Well, on my way back, that 1,200 miles, I drove straight through from Detroit to Dallas. The only times I stopped, a couple times just for gas, that's it. And those were like 10-minute stops, and that's it. Other than that, this car was driving non-stop for 1,200 miles, which was about, I want to say, 17 hours of driving time, 17 hours, maybe 18 hours of driving time. And the battery's fine. It's working fine. That was a month ago now. And now we're here at Holley MoParty, still running, still doing good. The battery's just been awesome. And again, XS Power did give me this battery a year ago, so I'll say that up front again. I actually reached out to them because I saw what they had. I saw it was one of the lightest batteries on the market, not the most expensive either. And I really genuinely wanted to buy the battery. And I was going to buy it no matter what, but I was like, hey, I'd like to get your battery if maybe we can work something out. I'm a budget racer, so I need help where I can get it. And XS Power, awesome people, they helped me out and they sent me a battery. So, you know, just full disclosure on that, but genuinely, I love this battery. I cannot say enough good things about it. It has just worked perfectly. It's performed perfectly. No issues at all. Again, it fit in here, so those that didn't see my install video, which I'll link up here, I used the stock strap right there. That's actually a stock bracket, but I did flip it around, and it just so happened that that length is perfect for fitting its battery. So again, it's in there solid. It's not going anywhere. So if I have anything to add, I will break to that here in a minute, but otherwise, I just wanted to throw that update out there, let you guys know how the battery is doing. Again, if you're looking for a lightweight battery, that thing weighed 7.5 pounds. go to XS Power. I'm going to put a link to that exact battery in the description. Check them out. Take a look at it. Last I checked, as of 2022, it was like $575 approximately. Don't quote me on that. Prices change all the time. But cheaper than a lot of the other lightweight batteries that are out on the market, and at the same time is even lighter than some of those more expensive ones. There's a little variation. Like I think they spec it as 6.9 pounds. I weighed this one, it was 7.5 pounds, right around there. But yeah, awesome battery. You can't go wrong with it. So if I have nothing else to add, thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. If you have questions, let me know. I will see if I can answer it. I try to always get to everyone's questions when they have them. And until next time, see you at the drag strip.